My name is Prince Marshall, and welcome to the Thinker Series. In this first episode, I'm actually going to change it up a bit and cover something that directly affects thinking, but isn't solely about methods to better thinking. First of all, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. My father has passed on, but continues to be an influence in my life every single day through memories and everything that he taught me. Funny enough, in my family, Father's Day was also the celebration for my mother's birthday. So happy birthday, Mommy. She too was a great influence and teacher in my life. Even though I may not have appreciated them enough while I was growing up, I did have the chance to let them know how much they meant to me and show them me putting their lessons into practice before they were gone. One of the reasons that I began this series is because I wanted to continue their legacy of teaching others how to and helping them to live and lead better lives. To me and my sisters, he was the wisest man we could ever have been blessed with as a father. To our children, he was a loving and active grandfather that never ceased to come up with engaging, fun activities to help them expand their thinking and abilities. I hope that through this series, I can share some of the wisdom that he has given me over the years, some of which I never realized the value of until after he was gone. That having been said, I want to jump to something my mother would always tell me that I have always put into practice, and that is probably because she said it to me so often I would hear her saying it in my head all the time. Learn all you can and can all you learn. Learn all you can is pretty straightforward. Life on this earth is a learning experience from start to finish. From the animal kingdom to good old Homo sapiens, learning is part of survival and key to longevity. For us, learning isn't supposed to end after the formal education of high school or college or grad school. If you look at the progression, grade school prepares you for middle or junior high school. Middle and junior high prepare you for high school. High school prepares you for college. College prepares you for life or graduate school. Those that go on to graduate school usually go on to becoming researchers and innovators in their field, using their acquired skills and knowledge to continue their pursuit of knowledge. Now, when I say prepares, each level gives you the knowledge and skills to function and succeed at the next level. Now, there are trade schools and specialized courses that focus on specific areas, but their purpose is to give you the knowledge and skills to succeed in their areas. Regardless, no matter how much knowledge you have or skills you acquire, there is always more to be learned. It should be a never-ending endeavor, not something that stops when you finish school, regardless of the level. Additionally, the more you learn, the more knowledge and skills you have to draw upon that can be used to make decisions, come to conclusions, and formulate plans of action in all areas of your life if you can successfully transfer them. Can all you learn? Now, this part for me is the most powerful part because it contains two separate and distinct directives. My mother was a wise and clever woman that also had quite a sense of humor. I'm pretty sure she intentionally planted this earworm in my head. The first interpretation is obvious. Can all you learn means store all you learn, retain all you learn, keep all you learn safe. The second interpretation is to be able to emulate, implement, put into practice, exercise, do everything that you learn. Be able to apply your knowledge to everything that you do. This is a powerful mantra that can be applied to every subject area, every discipline, every occupation, every endeavor. If you look at it from the perspective that everything you learn prepares you to learn more or move on to the next level of learning, the idea of potentially unlimited learning doesn't seem so far-fetched. The saying, "you can't teach an old dog new tricks," should never be applied to people, and frankly, I don't think it's a generalization that is fair to dogs either. Now, the more knowledge we possess, the more data we have to draw upon, when thinking about all the things in our life, empowering us to be more effective in our personal and professional lives, and the more you learn, the more things you're capable of achieving. This gives us the capacity to make better decisions and choices in life for ourselves and our loved ones, improve their and your quality of life, accomplish more, and lead a more meaningful life. As parents, mine did all they could do to pass on their wisdom and knowledge to me, but I also had a curiosity and appetite to learn by watching them. They say that children learn by example, and I certainly learned a great deal from observing them. My father and mother both possessed trade skills. Among them, my father was an artist, from portraits to commercial sign painting, and a carpenter. In addition to him teaching me how to do things, I spent countless hours when he would take me to work with him, or when he was in his workshop in the basement, watching him work and soaking in his techniques and work ethic. My mother was a seamstress and a milliner. And not only did she teach me how to sew, but I spent hours watching her work as well. I never learned how to make hats from her, but that's because I had no interest. She made ladies' hats, and well, that held no interest for a growing young boy such as me. Cooking was another story. I watched her and learned so that from the time I was young, I was able to make myself something to eat and not always have to ask her for something whenever I was hungry. Those of you that are parents, step-parents, or hope to be parents, have a responsibility to your children to be all that you can be, not just so that you can provide for them materially, but so that you can be teachers and role models for them. You have to be able to nurture and grow their minds, their curiosity, and their character, not just in words, but by example. In the hustle and bustle of today's world, parenting is a dying practice that is becoming delegated to school, nannies, babysitters, video games, television, and social media. At best, the children are getting a rudimentary functioning mental skill set without real direction or purpose. At worst, it is the blind leading the blind. I admit to not being the best father that I could have been, but I was able to instill that same thirst for learning, knowledge, and experiences in my daughter. When she was growing up, I was hard on her, according to her, because I would not just give her answers, but would lead her down a decision tree reasoning path so that she would arrive at the answer herself. For most of her formative years, I was in a management position in marketing as well as an IT manager. She was exposed to computers, technology, and troubleshooting practices from an early age. I also had the skills I got from my father in fixing things and improvising, which she got to witness on a regular basis around the house, and my doing work for friends and neighbors. From my parents, she was exposed to Spanish and took it in school, and from her mother, she got the native tongue of Israel, which is Hebrew. Her mother was a stay-at-home mom, so there were no nannies or babysitters, and on the occasions that we needed time, my parents or oldest sister were the ones that she spent time with. As a result of all this nurturing, mentally and emotionally, she grew to be a consistent honor roll student and grounded enough to become a child model as well. She was a Girl Scout, and as she got older, worked in summer jobs. When it came time to go to college, she got a full scholarship to an honors college, as well as a New York Times scholarship. Upon graduation from college, she went and served as a volunteer soldier in the Israeli Defense Force and wound up as an F-16 technician in their Air Force. After her stint in the military was up, she remained there and worked in management jobs for a few years until she got to where she is now as a production and tour manager for a popular Israeli musical artist. She travels the world regularly for work and is sometimes in the company of the world's elite. She has made me very proud and a bit jealous. One of the characteristics of a good parent is preparing and setting their children up to have a better life than them. Overall, in her almost 28 years of living, at almost 53, I haven't managed a quarter of what she's accomplished. Though she has thanked me for being who I was and giving her the skills and mentality that allowed her to succeed, she also blames me for something. It seems that because of the thinking skills that I nurtured, she has realized how many of her peers and others don't have fully functional thinking skills, and what seems to her to be common sense, she has to explain to others. Parents need to take the responsibility of thinking about parenting not just in terms of giving their children a good life, but preparing them to be effective thinkers and the future leaders and heirs of the world. We should be perpetuating knowledge and learning, not still scratching our heads trying to figure out how primitive cultures built the pyramids, Stonehenge, and the Easter Island statues. For all our technology and advancement, it seems that we've lost more practical knowledge over time than we're gaining. All we can do as individuals is pursue knowledge, wisdom, and productive thinking the best we can for ourselves and pass along what we've learned to our offspring, along with the drive for them to surpass our achievements and not just settle for the good job, the house, and the 2.5 children. There is more to life than the status quo, and if we don't instill that concept into ourselves and our children, that apathy will be our downfall. So I'm going to close by honoring my mother and father by reminding you to learn all you can and all you learn, and teaching your children to do the same. I hope this special Parents episode of the Thinker series has given you a different perspective and inspired you with some new ways of thinking and new ways of looking at life. If you enjoyed this episode, please like below and subscribe to the channel for more by clicking on the Thinker image that appears in the center of your screen.